All right, Maximus Analysis here for December 1st, 2015. And we had a pretty quiet day, but again, they looking like they need to get above this 2103. That's the last thing that I have. Today was pretty, choppy in regards to this session intraday, but they ended up closing really high. Um, yes, they really closed this one particularly high going, launching into the close. But there was some relative strength and there was some relative weakness regarding some names. So again, a lot of names did look very good today, but the ES is just holding above. This is red is the midpoint. So again, we have the measured move here, and they could get back over here and continue to go up to 2160. Now, the NQ looks very good, as well as the best looking one out of them all. You had the YM. YM looked pretty good as well. Let's get that. Again, it's now breaking above here. They're supporting this 17,600 levels. So again, they could continue to the upside. I wouldn't be surprised with it. IWM, I was actually looking at potentially going short this one, but it was just, I just want to see where it goes because then it could continue, if it breaks above these highs, continue high above that. This fib was about 61.8, so that's kind of where it was overbought territory, but I wasn't going to take the first sell signal just because of how things looked. Crude was a very choppy session. You can see from, I show you an hourly, you can see how volatile it was today and didn't really move much. You're talking about this is the open, it just was choppy sideways. So again, I'm looking more on an hourly to potentially swing trade this to the up or downside, but I think you got OPEC on Friday. So just looking at a couple different things and taking it from there. Things that did look good today was actually Google continued making stronger highs. You had Amazon still looking good, up 14 bucks. Netflix, again, this is not the position to short, in my opinion. Again, you could short, but then you just got to put your stop above 130, and that's pretty much it. I'm not going to take the first sell signal. Tesla, I was actually looking for something to short based on. It's funny, this moving average. I'm not really a moving average person, but it continued higher. So if it's going to turn it, if it breaks above these highs, it might give you some more continuation from for some more upside potential. Facebook looked good going into the close, really strong. So I'm going to see how this looks tomorrow. I did IW1. Apple showed a lot of relative weakness. So again, we'll see if they get any gap up or anything going into tomorrow. But out of the markets were up pretty significant, and this name really didn't do that much. Priceline, I was also looking to potentially try to short, but again, I wanted a seller's bar. I wanted it to break this low, and it didn't. So again, I would not short such a strong bar. I need some type of weakness and smaller bars to kind of short into. But this was another one that was up big today, but the overall price action wasn't as attractive on the daily time frame. Now, Baidu continued, gave a weird gap down and then close up. So again, if you got in yesterday, congratulations on very high volume. So things look pretty good with that. They had a lot of down movement. The usual suspect, United Healthcare, was just pretty much used. And again, this is just grinding down. But if you look at, let's use this. If you look at where it is within the trend, you can see that it's still holding the 50. And if it's grinding down, all you need is a higher low, and it could really explode to the upside. You also had Goldman testing its 50-day, 50% of the range. So we'll see how it moves and maybe gets up this 195.76 area, which would be around that gap fill. I want to see how much volume it does because the volume was decreasing and today it increased a lot. You had Boeing continue, but then faded off in the day, in the middle of the day. But you have bonds, which was kind of weird to me that the bond names, and I'll put up one. I think it's a ZN. Yeah, the bonds really moved up a lot, which I was like, it's something always to keep it, they usually work in inverse relationships regarding the equities and the bond market. So you might see them, if something is going bad with the stock market, people will flee to bonds. And if something's going good with the stock market, they'll flee to the. So again, you just saw this big run up. And I'll show you, this one is the 10-year. Then you have the F contract, which again gapped down and then really moved up high, but again needs to hold this 118 area. This is just, again, the trend is not the best in regards, well, it ain't really had much of a trend, quite honestly. You can see how sideways this is. And this is the 5-year, and then you had the B, which I think is the what is this? I think it's 20-year. I'm not sure, but either way, you can see they had a lot of volume today, which on a huge up day for the markets was kind of like, why is it up? It should be continuing to go down, but again, it's just a little correlation that I wanted to point out to you guys. So it's still holding its bullish type of pivots, or again, this 151, it needs to be held, and you just treat it like anything else. I just was kind of just pointing that stuff out to you guys. But again, you know, it has some really good movements today in regards to a lot of the big name equity stuff. So again, the Google Priceline, Amazon, Facebook was up almost $3 today. So again, we want to see that follow through tomorrow and go from there. Again, a lot of people are looking at Netflix. I don't see why you would want to short this pattern per se, but again, next thing tomorrow gaps down and you're like, I should have shorted it. So we'll see. They're stuck at 2100 right now. We'll see what the overnight session looks like. But again, they still see that the bulls are in control with the higher lows. So you have the higher lows here and another one here. So until they break back at least one low, the bulls are in control. Take care.